So today I'll be showing you guys how to make this crop top with square neckline. um so for that you might need about 1.5 yards of fabric, or 1 or 2 yards of fabric, it depends. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open up the fabric. So guys, the first thing I did is to cut out the fabric I'll be using. So as you can see, I have two of them here, one for my back panel, one for my front panel, and both are folded into two. So this is it here. So the next thing, the length, sorry, because normally, let's say this is my fabric here, and then my shoulder is starting somewhere here, right? And then I have my armhole, have my neckline, but this is supposed to be like an off shoulder. This is supposed to be an off shoulder, right? Normally this is what would be your bodice, but this is an off shoulder, so the top is starting at 7. So from my shoulder to this point, this is where my top is starting at 7. So the length I want for this is about 17.5, but I added 1.5 to it for my seam allowance, so that's why I have 19 here. So the next thing I'm going, because it's supposed to be a crop top, right? So that's why I'm using that length. So the next thing I have here is you're going to measure your round the bust, and then you're going to add 12 inches to it. So the 12 inches is just for all the seam allowances you would need for this top. So remember, I measured myself and I have 42 for my round the bust measurement. I added 12 to it. That's 54, and then I divided it by 4. So what I have to work with is 13.5. So that's why I have 13.5 here, you see, and I have 2 of it. You see, this is folded into 2, and then I cut it out 13.5 of width. The same thing for the one at the back. That's my back panel. So now we'll go into shaping this. So the next thing I have to do is to check the waist, right? So I have gotten what I need for the bust, because why we're using the bust first is because that's the widest part of this measurement. So now we'll go over to the waist. The waist I'm working with is 36 plus 12 again. That same 12, I got 48 and then divided it by 4. So what I'm working with is 48 divided by 4, that will give me 12. So I'm going to mark the 12 here and then connect this line all the way up, right? I've done this method several times. So I've cut out this. So this is just to shape it, because remember, your bust and your waist measurement are not the same. So after that, the next thing, so I'm going to separate the back. For now, I'll separate my back and the front. So this is my back panel, this is the front panel. I'm going to measure from one distance of one nipple to the other, that's the breast point. So what I have is 8 inches plus 1, that's 5 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to place back my tape at 7, mark my shoulder to breast point, which is, so after that I'll put my tape back here. So my shoulder to at this 7, so I'm measuring shoulder to breast point. For me, that's about 12. Then shoulder to under bust, that's 14, and then shoulder to waist, for me, that's 17. So that's the 3 lines I have here: shoulder to breast point, shoulder to under bust, and then shoulder to waist. So from this waist, I'm going to subtract. So guys, remember, the folded part is supposed to be, the center is supposed to be on the inside. You're marking this at the point where this folded fabric meets this side. So you see, this is the fold here. This is going to be your center, but you're marking all those things at this end here. This is where you're marking it. So what I'm going to do now is to subtract half an inch from the lower line, that's the waistline, subtract 0.75 from the middle line, which is the shoulder to under bust, and then I won't mark anything on the shoulder to breast point. From there, I'm just going to connect the line, connect this one all the way down, and then come up here, subtract 1 inch, come in by 1 inch here at this top here, and then connect it down to the breast point. So that's basically it. Right now, all I have to do is to cut it out. You see? So yeah, the next thing I have to do is to come down from this armhole, because remember, this top is starting at 7, so I'm going to just come down maybe by 2 inches more, that's at 9, somewhere here, and then I'm going to just connect this line all the way to this point here. See, connect that line here. This is just to give it a slanted shape coming down to the armhole, because you don't want this fabric poking you under the arm. So you need to come down a little bit, almost like the armhole. You see, normally my armhole should be somewhere at 10, but I just took it up a little bit, so I stopped at 9. My top is starting at 7, but I made my armhole, because if it's normal bodies like this, my armhole might come down to 10, but I just brought it up a little and stopped at 9 since it's going to be a tube top. So I'm going to cut this out, and then with this same slant that I have here, I'm going to take it over to the back bodice. Remember, this is the back bodice, and remember we gave it this shape at this side when we were shaping the waist. So make sure you place everything in order, and then you're going to mark, because remember the two sides are going to meet this, the two sides of the back will meet the two sides of the front. So you mark it down here and then keep it straight. You can cut that line. So I'm going to cut it here. So my back, your back is going to look like this rectangle, right? But I'm going to just cut this out to show you guys first. So this is the back. I've cut out this here. I've cut this out here. So this is the length of the back. I'm going to go ahead and open up this for my zip allowance, because remember this top is going to have a zip at the back. So that's basically it now. What I'm going to do is just go to the sewing machine, fold this fabric for the back. I'll start with the back, fold it into 2 like this, right? Fold the second one also into 2, and just make a straight dart all the way down. Make a straight dart here all the way down. Set it aside. Take my front, because I'm not going to be using lining on this. Take my front bodice, right? You see, I have one center. So this center bodice here, if you want, you can leave it just straight how it is, right? For the neckline, because remember one is going to come in here, and then this one is going to be here, and then this one is going to be here. If you want, you can leave the center one here, but you know people normally do put like a V, and then you have, this is how you now get, if you give it a V here, this is how you get your sweetheart neckline, right? But for me, what I'm just going to do is I don't want it just straight like this. I just want it to have a slight curve to it, not like a sweetheart, not like a sweetheart this way and then cut it out. I just want it to have some curve. So I might come down by maybe 0.75 inches, not up to 1 inch here, and then just curve it a little bit. Just curve it a little bit. It's still straight, but not really. So I'm just going to slide this out, right? Yeah, and that's basically it. So now this is what I have. You see, I have something like this. So what I have to do is just go to the sewing machine, take this, place it right side facing each other, close up this side, take this one here, right side facing each other, and then close up this side. That's the back, and then join the side of the back to the side of the front here. You see, join this side to this side, and then do it on the other side. After that, we'll come back and start up with the bias. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and put one side of the back. So basically I after joining the 3-piece, I used bias to finish this top part here, did the back separately, used bias to finish it up, then join it by the side. So this is one side is done. So the second side is what I'm about to do. I've gone ahead and just cut a strip of fabric about 1.5. So this is the bias here. I'm going to just use it to flip and finish up the edge, and then put it on the other side. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and joined the two sides. So this is one line on the side, the other line on the side. So just because I made mine crop doesn't mean you have to make yours crop. If you would prefer a longer length, then you can add a few more inches. All you have to do is just continue the dart all the way down. So this is mine. So we'll move over to the sleeve. So for the, I've already gone ahead and done one sleeve. So this is one sleeve here. So you remember the sleeve is going to be puffy. So this is what I have here. I made something like this to use for the end here, and then I tucked in the fabric into this, like inside this way, closed the top all the way, and then made a long stitch on the inside. At the top here, I folded it by 1 inch here so that I can use it to pass elastic. So this here is going on top of this side here. So, but let me show you guys the sleeve first. So this is basically how the sleeve started. It started like a white fabric. The length is 20 inches by, so it started as 20 inches by about 25 or 26 inches. It depends on how puffy you want yours to be. So after that, I had 2 of it. So I've already done the first one. This is the second sleeve. So after that, I made something like this band here. If you want, you can just fold your fabric on itself and pass elastic at the end for if you want an elastic cuff. Or if you want this type of cuff, you just have to cut fabric that will be enough as a band, about 4 inches length, 4 inches of width, and then make sure that you can pass your hand through it all the way to the end and come back up, right? And come back up. So, and then leave seam allowances at the end. So after that, you just have to fold it into 2 and then tuck this fabric, gather this fabric inside of it, right? Just gather it inside of this band and then you close it up. See how mine is. You see, I just tucked it in, just gathered it as I was going, tucked it inside of the band, closed the band up and stopped about 5 inches up here. You see, I marked it 5 inches. If you want, you can make yours 4 inches, but I made mine 5 inches because I want it to come into the shoulder. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So remember, this is going to be the side, right? So you see one bust here, the second bust here. See, one bust, second bust. This is just the front. The sleeve is coming to this side, right? So what I mean by if you want, you can make yours. You see, I left it open here. I left it open this way. So what I'm going to do is this side seam here, right? My side seam here is going directly here, directly to the side seam of my band. Directly to the side seam of my sleeve. You see, I made a loop for my elastic already and then stopped 5 inches before that. So I have a straight line like this. So I'm going to open up my side seam of my top as a straight line too, right? So what I'm going to do now is just to place this here. Place it side seams to side seam, and then I'm going to just make a stitch all the way up, close it all the way up to this point. But before then, I'm going to stop somewhere here and pass my elastic all the way, and then the other end I'm also going to move it to the back. You see, move it to the back, and then my elastic is going to go all the way through to bring down the sleeve. You understand? So when I bring out the 2 ends of the elastic here, I'm just going to top stitch it. So you see, you're going to just make a straight stitch. This is the side. Take it open the way it is. You can use 5 inches, you can use 4 inches. It depends on how narrow, how close up you want it on your neck, on your shoulder. So you just place it this way and run a straight stitch on it with your elastic on the inside. Just pull enough elastic to gather this together, and that's basically it. So I'm going to do mine on the both sleeve. So guys, this is it here. It's done. You can make yours longer, like I said before, and then this is the back. So basically all you have to do is to close up the back of the fabric, come down maybe by 2 inches or 1 inch, and then you put in your zip. You see, this is my zip here. So make your zip to face down, and after that you can, another thing I did is to chip off about 2 inches from the back. So I just folded the fabric this way and then came up by 1 inch or 1.5, because I noticed that when I was done, the back of the top came down a little bit. So I wanted it to just be just as cropped as the back. So I chipped off a little bit from it, because remember, the back came down because it's longer, because in front you have the bust and at the back you don't have anything. So that space, that any length you use for the front is going to be too long at the back. So that's why I removed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.